You're not very bright, are you? Come here, Rose.
She's a sassy old lady.
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT here. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to watch the season finale, the first season of the Sandman right now. It is called Lost Hearts, and it should be a doozy because last episode we got the first part of the big old serial killer convention.
They're great!
There was a guy who was a big old fanboy of serial killers who made a very, very reckless life decision. And yeah, cost him big. And we had the Corinthian, who was the guest of honor at the place, who decided to bring along Rose Walker's brother Jed, basically as a lure and bargaining chip to bring Rose to the place and then get her to do what he wants. Fiddler's Green accompanied her. He was one of the missing arcana from the land of the dreaming, and he's been going by Gilbert all this time. And he finally went back to the dreaming to let the Morpheus and Lucian know that he had just run into the Corinthian and what he was getting up to down there, but he did not know critically that Rose was a dream vortex. And so now he's worried because he just had that information given to him by Lucian, and of course knows that that means that Dream is going to have to deal with her, which means, basically killing her. And we saw why, basically, in the last episode, because Rose has been making impossible things possible within the dreaming, such as the actual ghost of Lyda's husband. It turns out he really was a ghost, not just a figment of her imagination, getting her pregnant. But because she got pregnant within the dreaming, it's basically Morpheus's kid. It's a classic old fairy tale bargain, kind of thing where, the laws of magic and all that stuff. Then Rose had a big old confrontation with Dream about, basically leave my friends alone, and was able to wrest the power to end dreams and everything away from him for a moment, thus showing her growing power and the reason why she is such a threat. A lot of stuff to wrap up in this episode, so let's go ahead and just get right into it.
He's gonna kill you. But if someone protected you, kept him from killing you, well then, you'd become the center of the dreaming.
You'd be the new Dream Lord.
I'll tell you what. This is your room. You can have both keys. I'll knock. If you want, you can let me in. If not, I'll go away. But lock the door when I leave. Because you never know.
See what I mean about why he's so scary? Because of how just non-threatening he is?
I don't usually speak in public. But the opportunity to talk to so many people who share the same passion, the same dream, it's just too good to pass up. We are entrepreneurs in an expanding field.
Sadly.
We are explorers and truth seekers.
Oh.
We are hunters, soldiers of fortune, and kings of the night.
Terrifying. Now here's something for you that's messed up. Odds are decent, especially if you live in a city, a serial killer.
Well, good night. Sweet dreams.
Look at you, walking this earth for over a century, infecting others with your joy of death. But what have you given them? What have you wrought? Nothing. Just something else for people to be afraid of.
I mean, it's literally what a nightmare is, though.
She's bringing the walls down between the sleepers' minds.
Jet, run!
You need to wake up.
Don't listen to him, Rosebud. You're the one with power now, not him.
I'm not dreaming anymore. Thanks to you two, I'm wide awake.
True lucidity.
You only care about yourself, your realm, your rules.
I contain the entire collective unconscious. Without my rules, it would consume me. humanity would be consumed.
Or you might actually feel something. I am not the problem, Dream.
The symptom.
I had so much hope for you. But I created you poorly then.
I think this is word for word from the comic.
So I must uncreate you now.
I am only sorry I won't be here to see Rose Walker do the same to you.
Until now, you have sustained fantasies in which you are the victims. Comforting daydreams in which you are always right.
No more.
No more. This is my judgment upon you.
To see yourselves as you truly are.
That you shall know from this moment on exactly how craven and selfish and monstrous you are. You shall feel the pain of those you have slaughtered.
Hello, 911. I'm calling to confess to a crime.
I've always thought that that would be the best way to deal with people who do these sorts of things.
That pain and grief.
Give them the weight of empathy.
Guilt with you until the end of time.
So honestly, in many cases, that's what they're lacking. You know, it's what makes them the way they are. They don't have the capacity to feel like normal humans.
When she is awake, she is not a threat. Tonight, when she sleeps, I will find her, and we will end this.
You know, there are plenty of people who can have waking dreams. Dream.
So Mom's still sick.
She passed away a few months ago.
You have to know, though, she never stopped trying to get you back. Dad just didn't want to let you go.
Because he was a fucking manipulative, controlling, narcissistic asshole. That's why.
The baby's coming. I'm in labor.
Oh my God!
Is that Rose?
And Barbie and Ken and Hal are here.
We're taking good care of her, Rose.
And Chantal and Zelda are on the way.
So are we. I promise.
Don't rush. Drive safely.
I wonder if if what I think are my memories about how that whole thing ends up resolving itself will come true.
You know she was pregnant?
Of course she knew. You did know, didn't you?
Everyone, this is Jen.
Nice way to just completely sidestep the whole conversation.
Is that a rose spider? It used to be. We have a vast collection of arachnid taxidermy.
Ah, those two.
So she's still only 3 centimeters. The doctor's with her now.
Oh, that nurse told you that?
Yeah, she's really nice.
You two seriously need to break up. Break up, guys. You don't belong together.
Unity?
Oh, good morning, darling.
I woke you up. I'm sorry.
Learn the time differences.
One thing I do not need more of in my life is sleep.
Did
you find Jed?
I did. If something were to happen to me, hypothetically.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
Hypothetically.
I often wonder what my life would have been like had I not slept through it. Would I have had a family? And what must that be like? Once you and Jed get here, I won't have to wonder anymore.
You really are amazing. Do you know that?
It runs in the family.
You okay?
Zelda has a reassuring moral homily concerning God and difficult times, and a variable number of footprints in the sand.
I don't want any of this. I'm afraid to fall asleep. I'm afraid to wake up.
He should be afraid. When you go to sleep tonight, you have to find him and end this. You're in charge now.
And this is the story he told. It was a dark and stormy night, and the skipper said to the mate, "Mate, tell me a story." It was a dark and stormy night.
Nah, she's just stuck in a loop. Run away, guys.
Run where?
You've caused a great deal of damage.
What happened to Jed? To my friends?
They're asleep in their bed, but they're not safe. No one is. Not until the vortex is dead.
Is there really no way to just take the power from her without killing her?
I left my post here to experience life as a human being. A life which I humbly offer in exchange for yours.
I'm afraid that's not possible. For the dreaming and the waking world to live, the vortex must
You're a
die.
real mensch,
Then
Gilbert.
what's the point of a vortex? Why do we even exist?
He doesn't know.
When a human is at the center of the dreaming, is it not to remind us that we exist because humans dream, not the other way round? The miracle of humanity itself should always be more vivid to us than any marvels of power.
Substitute all life forms every time he says humans, because obviously it's about the entire universe, not just us.
Who are you?
Ah, my dear, Fiddler's Green is not a who, it is a where. And after your death, if you stay in the dreaming, visit me. Walk in my meadows and my green glades. Rest beneath my trees. Farewell, Rose Walker. It was a privilege being human with you.
This is what would have been missing if you remember how the dreaming looked at the beginning.
I am sorry.
Just do it. Whatever it takes to save my brother and my friends.
My lord, stop! This is Unity Kincaid. I am Rose's great-grandmother. And according to this book, I was meant to be the vortex of this age.
I don't understand.
Ah, you're not very bright, are you? Come here, Rose.
She's a sassy old lady.
Reach down inside yourself and give me whatever it is that makes you the vortex.
But how?
You're dreaming, darling. Anything is possible.
Can't she just do that with Dream? Can't she just give it to him? Give it to Dream. It could be a one-up part. It's like that old story that people who die in their sleep are blessed.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. I'm not. I was meant to have died a long time ago, Rose. But if I had, I would never have met my golden-eyed man. And we would never have had our beautiful baby girl.
Golden-eyed man, huh? Means something to you, doesn't it?
The father of your child had golden eyes.
Who else do you know has
I've
golden
never seen
eyes?
anything like them.
There we go. Dream, you're gonna have to go talk to your sibling.
Have you decided on a name?
I thought about naming him after Hector. There is only one Hector for me. And this baby deserves his own name.
You ever notice how people only ever use your name when you're in trouble?
Quoting the Corinthian.
As long as you don't have a name, you can't get in any trouble.
There are plenty of cultures that have traditions about not naming children for extended periods of time after they're born.
Wow, that is very interesting. Please tell me more.
Thought I remembered Zelda speaking at the end of this.
From New York.
Less than an hour. Why?
I had this dream last night, and now I'm thinking, what if I sell the house and move back?
You go for it, man.
We'll buy the house.
Everybody's healed. Uh-oh. Going to his gallery. Time to summon somebody for a conversation. And of course, no coincidence that what made Rose the Vortex looks like Desire's sigil.
But of course,
Little cat
you're
tail.
always welcome in my chambers.
In my chambers. Because it's a heart.
It's a pun!
Unity Kincaid should have been the vortex of this era. But someone took advantage of my imprisonment and fathered a child with her.
Oh, I just realized that that's Delirium's sigil back there.
You covered your tracks remarkably well.
Well, that's high praise
Destiny.
coming from you.
You are such a vamp.
Mess with me or mine again, and I shall forget your family. Do you believe yourself strong enough to stand against me? Against death? Against destiny?
No.
Remember that next time you're inspired to interfere in my affairs.
Next time. I'll drop that.
Going to see the Hecate, or I don't know, the different variants of the others.
No.
My lord. Sorry to disturb you when you're working.
Oh no, he's just making more new dreams and nightmares.
A new book appeared in the library this morning, written by Rose Walker.
Nice.
How is it?
You may take issue with the depiction of the king in the story, but I loved it.
She is a daughter of the Endless with quite a story to tell.
Daughter of the Endless.
I am finishing a dream.
I'll leave you to it then.
Lucienne. You not wish to say hello?
You look gorgeous, Galt. Thank you, Lucienne.
I had no right returning here after over a century expecting everything to be just as I'd left it. Lucienne tried to tell me that. So did you. But now I'm listening. More. Trying to.
That's a start.
New dreams. New nightmares. A new age.
Not quite yet, but getting close.
What do you mean by that?
You go for it, Galt.
I may be here a while. Would you mind taking care of things while I work?
With pleasure.
Making it official. You are now Major Domo of the Realm of Dreams. Meanwhile, nice transition. So were you guys working together, Lucifer, you and Desire?
Your Majesty? Shall I ring for your attendant?
They're still in a mood.
I come at the bidding of the assembled lords of hell.
All the eyes.
The armies of hell are yours to command, should you wish to strike.
You wish to invade the dreaming,
If you command it.
and then perhaps the waking world. And one day, even the Silver City.
Heaven.
Yeah, we know.
You have given us much to think about, Azazel.
I would ask you do more than think. The generals demand action.
Do they?
I didn't notice that before. I like how they made Gwendolyn Christie's hair resemble horns.
Then I shall act. You may tell them.
Good day, Your Majesty.
Oh, I just realized what they're really setting up here. You may regret that, Azazel.
May I ask, what are you going to do?
I'm going shopping.
Something that I have never done before. Something that will make God absolutely livid.
Yup.
And bring Morpheus to his knees.
That last line makes me think that maybe it's going to be something different than what I was expecting. It would be so funny if they're ramping up just to do the thing that I'm thinking that is going to happen next. Definitely a good finale. hit all the major beats that I can remember from the way that the stories of Rose and Jed and the story of the convention in Corinthian, which I do believe were kept separate in the comics, the way those resolved and added a lot of interesting things too, just to make it, to sort of freshen it up and add a little more drama, maybe even a little more action for television. This adaptation is just doing a really good job so far. I really like it. I'm really happy we're getting a season 2. I remembered that Unity had some role to play in the resolution of the Rose storyline, but I couldn't remember exactly how that worked. But yeah, it makes sense the way it happened, and I feel like that was how it happened in the book too. Dude, I just had forgotten. And seeing Desire's constant machinations to try to bring her, keep wanting to say her, their brother low, is just always interesting. And as I mentioned, somebody said, was it Mason something Park? I think it's like a 3-part name. But they're doing a fantastic freaking job as Desire. Next season, I'm hoping we get to see Delirium and Destiny. Honestly, I hope we get to see all the rest of the Endless. I have some ideas for the casting of pretty much all of the remainders except for Delirium. I haven't quite landed on an idea of who I think should play her. But that's going to be an interesting role to cast. It's gonna actually require some very careful casting. It's one of those roles that I wouldn't say is very large, but is very important. But yeah, again, I loved it. The acting, everybody turned in a really great performance. Even, there were some folks who were a little weaker than some others. I'm not going to say their names, but I'm sure you know who they are as well. But they were very few and very far between, and even being weaker than the others, they still weren't bad. This is what happens when you have a cast that's full of people who are basically just nailing every single bit of their performance. If you have someone who occasionally is a little shaky, it just stands out a little more by comparison. Doesn't mean they're bad actors at all.
Thanks, I guess.
The music did a lot of really good work. The people who did the set designs and the VFX and everything really need to, as much praise as possible. They did a fantastic job. And the people who trained the Ravens too. I found out that that Matthew basically is just a real Raven that they trained. I'm just glad honestly that this adaptation didn't happen when they first started talking about it years and years ago, because I think it needed to happen now to be as good as it was. I just don't think that they could have achieved this before. And so bravo, Netflix did a fantastic job here. Thank you so much for watching this season of The Sandman with me. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments and what you think is going to happen next season, especially if you haven't read the graphic novels. Remember, if you are going to talk about stuff that happened in graphic novels, like you've read them, please use your spoiler warning and space of 4 or 5 spaces, so that the folks who are going the way that, for instance, I like to go through adaptations if I don't know the source, is I go through the adaptation first and then I go to the source to see, the added depths that you get in usually written material. So please, preserve things for them. So don't go spoiling stuff that hasn't happened yet, or that hasn't, or foreshadowing that hasn't been affected yet in the show. Look forward to talking to you guys about this and whatever else you want to talk about. Thanks again. As always, do your best to stay safe and be well, and I'll see you for the next thing, or maybe for episode 11. Anyway, sweet dreams.
I stand in my gallery and I hold your sigil. Talk to me.
'Twas a pleasure, a pleasure.